3 jugs of wine are waiting on my sideboard. They look identical. They are not. The best is for me and the 2 men I need most. The second is for friends who matter less. The third is for freedmen. Tonight, 9 people will recline in my dining room, and every one of them will learn from the first sip exactly what I have decided they are worth. It is the 9th hour, mid-afternoon, when Rome of my rank dines. I am an equestrian, a knight of Rome, worth 400,000 sesterces on the census. In a soldier's pay reckoning, over $12 million. None of it is safe. Fortunes here are made of marriages, loans, legacies, and friendships, and all 4 are decided at tables like mine. 3 of tonight's 9 guests can change what my family is. That is why one dinner is about to cost more than a legionary earns in years. Before anyone arrives, I fight the evening's first battle, the seating chart. 9 places, 3 couches around 1 table, open on the 4th side for the food. No law ranks the places. Custom does, and every Roman can read it. The middle couch holds the seat of honor, the consular place. I take the low couch beside it, where a host can watch every face and reach every slave with a glance. Then I set my guests down like pieces on a board. The moneylender high, my cousin low, and the last place on the lowest couch, the seat everyone sees and nobody wants, for a client. I know that seat. 20 years ago, it was mine. They arrive on time. Late to this table is a statement. Early is a confession. At my door stands a slave whose entire job is memory. Before each guest reaches the threshold, he breathes the essentials into my ear. The name, the family, the favor owed. Inside, slaves take sandals and wash feet and hands. My guest of honor, a praetor's brother, is steered to the consular place, and the rich old man with no children and no will goes where the whole room can watch me honor him. Half the fortunes in Rome are hunted at dinners like this one. His will is not yet written. My dining room is the most expensive room I own. Its walls are painted with banquets, diners on couches like ours, so my guests eat surrounded by pictures of themselves. Silver crowds the sideboard. Even the floor boasts. The mosaic is strewn with painted fish bones, shells, and fruit pits. A floor pretending we are too rich to sweep. My wife reclines beside me, as respectable women do at Roman dinners. So put the orgy out of your mind. What happens in this room is colder than that. The first course comes out. Eggs, olives, oysters carried live from the coast, honeyed wine. Everyone eats well. It does not last. The main course is where my table splits in 2. For the middle couch, red mullet the length of a forearm, its price in a moment. Lamprey from Sicily, boar carved to rhythm, white bread and oil from the best groves in Italy. For the client in the lowest place, bread so hard it cracks against the fingers, river eel fattened on what the sewer gives it, greens in oil that smells of the lamp. Same table, 2 menus. He reaches for the good basket. Once. A slave stops his hand, quietly. Know the color of your own bread.
The poet Juvenal sat through dinners like this and swore the host does none of it to save money. The point, he wrote, is the pain. No comedy plays better than a hungry man watching.
Now, the price. That mullet cost a fortune, and I paid it because everyone at this table knows the stories. A single fish once sold for 8,000 sesterces. In soldiers' pay, something like $250,000. Under Tiberius, 3 mullets brought 30,000, and an emperor talked of price controls. Lucullus only had to name a dining room. One word, Apollo, and his kitchen spent what a Greek biographer records as 50,000 drachmas. Millions, in our terms, for one dinner. The law says a dinner may cost 200 sesterces. Look at my table and tell me who obeys.
While they eat, let me show you what they never see. Behind the painted wall runs a corridor, and at its end, a kitchen the size of a storeroom. Smoke, charcoal, fish sauce, sweat. The room my guests recline in is frescoed. The room their dinner comes from is soot. Between 10 and 20 people are working my dinner tonight. A steward runs the room with his eyes. A trained carver takes the boar apart in rehearsed strokes. Rome judges a host by how his meat is carved. Another slave tastes what reaches my couch first. Every one of these people is property. That is what the calm in my dining room is made of. People I own, moving fast, in silence, hoping not to be noticed.
Between courses, 2 stories you may have carried into this room. First, the vomitorium. There is no vomiting room in my house, or any house. A vomitorium is a passage in a stadium, the mouths that spew a crowd out into the street. The myth grew from a moralist's sneer about gluttons. They vomit to eat and eat to vomit. An insult about a few men became a room in every Roman house. Second, the wildest banquet stories, the roast boar that bursts open and releases live thrushes, dormice rolled in honey and poppy seed, mostly come from one savage comic novel about a vulgar millionaire host. It is satire, a cartoon of men like me. But I admit the cartoon knows us. The dormice, at least, are real. We fatten them in jars.
The tables are cleared, the wine is remixed, and now comes the hour this evening exists for, the drinking. Talk loosens, and business moves underneath it. A hint about a daughter near marrying age, a loan granted tomorrow on terms fixed tonight. 2 men laughing too warmly at the jokes of the old man with no will. Then the praetor's brother, deep in his cups, starts a joke about the emperor. I speak over him, loudly, about boar. Every slave in this room has ears. Slaves can be questioned, and men in this city have built fortunes reporting other men's table talk. The room understands me. The joke dies. We drink to the emperor's health, all 9 of us, with feeling. You may think, watching me rank my friends by bread and wine, that I am the most dangerous man in this room. I am not. Above every host in Rome there is another table, and no one refuses its invitations. The historian Cassius Dio records that the Emperor Domitian once invited the leading men of the Senate and of my own order to dinner. They entered a room painted black, ceiling, walls, floor, with bare black couches on bare stone. Beside each guest stood a slab shaped like a gravestone, cut with his own name, and a small tomb lamp beside it. Boys painted black danced around them like phantoms. The food was the food we offer to the dead, black on black dishes.
All evening only the emperor spoke of death and of killing. Then he sent them home in the dark with slaves they did not know, and each man rode through the city rehearsing his last words. At every door a messenger from the palace was waiting, with gifts, the silver from the table, the gravestone with his name, the boy who had danced for him. Dio heard this from men who hated Domitian, so perhaps they blackened the telling. But every man of rank believed it could be true. That is the ceiling over every dinner in Rome. A table where the host decides whether the last course is a present or a sentence.
My guests leave near midnight, torches ahead of them, sandals restored, promises half made. I will not know for days what tonight bought. A whisper in the right ear, a clause in a will, a daughter's future. One senator in this city likes to say that at his table everyone drinks the same wine. He does not rank his friends. He drinks what his freedmen drink. Rome praises him. Rome does not copy him. Because here, a dinner is never only food. Every couch, every basket, every jug is a sentence passed on a man in front of witnesses. 20 years ago, at another man's table, I drank the third wine and swallowed the verdict with it. Tonight, I poured it. Next month, at some greater house, a slave will fill a cup and hand my verdict to me.